Hey guys, welcome back to Tipharot. It's me, Matt here, and today we're discussing the future of lucid dreaming. Now, obviously no one can see the future, but we can make some speculations about what that's going to look like. So, first of all, lucid dreaming is both a very, very old subject and a very, very new subject in a sense. I mean, lucid dreaming presumably has been around as long as we have. Because if you think about it, we've had dreams as a species probably since the very beginning. We know that animals seem to dream as well, so why wouldn't we have been dreaming right since the very beginning? And if we've been dreaming since the very beginning, then we've also probably been lucid dreaming as well. Many people have spontaneous lucid dreams. In fact, my very first lucid dream, my very first handful of lucid dreams were all spontaneous ones. I didn't know about any of the techniques, I didn't practice any of the techniques, they just happened to me. And that was what got me interested in lucid dreaming to then learn how to do it myself. But at the end of the day, lucid dreaming is something natural that happens to people spontaneously. The practice of lucid dreaming is how we allow anyone to have that, and how we go about having more and more lucid dreams and developing greater control of them. But lucid dreaming as an actual thing that happens to people has probably been here since as long as the human race has existed. It wouldn't surprise me as well if dreaming in animals is similar to how it is in humans, where some dreams are non-lucid and others are lucid. But lucid dreaming is also new in a sense. After all, it's only received mainstream scientific recognition in the last few decades. For a long time, lucid dreaming occupied the same space as, witchcraft and anything esoteric or woo or out there. It was sort of seen as this thing that, people talked about and said was real, but if you hadn't experienced it yourself and someone was talking about lucid dreaming, 100 years ago, you'd probably roll your eyes and, think they're a bit off. But nowadays we've had experiments where scientists have been able to verify in the laboratory setting that, hey, lucid dreaming is a real thing. And now scientists are starting to study how lucid dreaming works and what its applications could be and so on. So we're at the very start of scientific research into lucid dreaming. And that means that there is a very bright and interesting future for lucid dreaming. I wish that I could, hop in a time machine, go 200 years in the future and see what we have discovered, what we've learned about our lucid dreams in that time, because I think there's gonna be a lot that we learn. So that's the first thing that I think the future of lucid dreaming holds. Lots of interesting scientific discoveries into how exactly it works, what potential things we can do with it that we might not have even thought of at this point. But the other thing that I want to discuss is actually related to an article that I just read literally a couple of hours ago. So I discovered this article from a few days ago about a recent experiment where researchers basically took a brain implant and sent signals to the brain of someone who was sleeping. And those signals were an impulse for them to move their fingers. And when they sent that impulse to them in the dream, they would drop objects that they were holding because their fingers would actually move in the dream. So they were able to essentially control an aspect of a person's dream using a brain implant. And this was actually the original subject that I wanted this video to be about, and I'd not heard of this experiment. In fact, I'm not sure if the experiment had actually been conducted at the time when I came up with the idea for this video. So when I saw this, I was like, okay, it's time to finally actually work on this video that's been sitting on my idea list for, a few months now. But yes, the other interesting area of the future of lucid dreaming is using technology to actually improve and influence our lucid dreams. One of the most obvious applications of this to me is when in the future we should be able to just induce lucid dreams using technology. There should be the possibility that, you can get some kind of brain implant, or you can use one of those devices where you have, electrodes placed on your head, you go to sleep, and using the device, you can cause yourself to have a lucid dream. There are already a few primitive devices that we have that try to induce a lucid dream in a variety of different manners. But at some point in the future, we will probably reach a stage where we can reliably induce a lucid dream with essentially the flick of a switch, or a pre-programmed alarm of some sorts before bed that sends a signal to your brain at a particular stage of your sleep. But I think we can go beyond just inducing lucid dreams. After all, if we've been able to control someone's fingers in their dream, then we can also probably control the content of those dreams. Rather than needing to do something like dream incubation ourselves, where we try to influence what we're going to dream about before we go to sleep, we might actually just be able to pre-program something that is going to basically light up our brain in a certain way and cause us to have a dream about the desired subject or in the desired location or whatever. Perhaps we can use this sort of technology to aid us in our lucid dreaming abilities. When I was reading about this experiment, that was one of the first things I thought about. A lot of people complain about having difficulty flying in lucid dreams. But what if you stimulated the right parts of your brain to essentially cause your body to lift up in the dream, to essentially cause a flying reflex of some sort? Perhaps in these areas where we struggle with dream control, in the future we'll be able to use technology to assist us in developing new abilities. Or perhaps the reverse can be true. Maybe if there's something that we can't yet physically perform in the real world, say we're performing some kind of sport or strength ability or something, we might be able to record the brain signals that we're firing off when we perform that movement in a dream, and then enhance those signals in waking life to allow us to have better performance in a certain activity. And of course, there's also the aspect of recording and sharing our dreams with other people. In our waking lives, we can share almost everything that we do now. In the age of smartphones, people are recording everything they do. People are recording, their dinner out with friends. People are recording their holidays. People are recording themselves all day long. And so whenever something exciting happens to you, there's a good chance that you might have a photo from the event or a snap from the event or whatever. But the one area where we definitely can't do that is with our dreams. We can have these phenomenal adventures and we can tell our friends about them, but we can never show them exactly what we saw. But we've already seen some primitive attempts at recording people's dreams and then being able to play back some of the imagery from them. And it's not very good at the minute, but I think with the help of things like AI technology and so on, I think we'll get to a point where eventually we can play back people's dreams in the full fidelity that they see them in the first place. And I think when that happens, that's going to be absolutely out of this world. Just imagine that. You wake up in the morning after an amazing dream, and instead of having to tell your friends, what it was like and knowing that they're not really going to get the full impression of just how amazing it was, you could just pull out your recording and show them the dream and let your friends relive what you just experienced. Not to mention the potential that this will have for dream journaling. What if you didn't have to have that great dream recall, because in the morning you could just open up your laptop and play back what you dreamt and have all of those dreams that you forgot come right back to you? And speaking of AI, and speaking of what we said earlier about how technology might be used for dream incubation in the future, what if we combine those two elements? Maybe there'll be a time where, if you're out of ideas for what you want to do in your lucid dreams, you could have an AI generate your dreams for you and come up with cool concepts and be discussing them with you while you're having the dream. So you can get ideas and inspiration and then be acting those things out in your dream, then be altering the dream world, or have the AI and, the brain interface do that for you. I don't know, I could sit here for probably hours just talking about all the different things that could come out of the future of lucid dreaming, but I'm curious to hear your ideas and your thoughts on what's going to happen in, the next 5 years, next 10 years, next 100 years. Leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, if you're interested in learning more about lucid dreaming for yourself, be sure to check out my complete book, The Lucid Dream Book. Whether you're a beginner, an intermediate, or an advanced lucid dreamer, there's something in there for you to improve your lucid dreaming abilities. If you want to check it out, check out the link in the top right hand corner or down in the description below, or just go to gum.co/theluciddreambook. And remember to use the code LUCID at checkout for 15% off. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe and enable all notifications so you can stay up to date when my new videos come out. And if you want to keep watching, check out one of those videos on screen, go watch that, and I'll see you there soon. Take care and have some awesome lucid dreams.